Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We are back again with our DevSecOn India meet, and we have a very special person with us, Philippe. We go long back and we know each other from our previous roles. But let me tell you who Philippe is. So, Philippe is an industry recognized two-time digital and tech entrepreneur, global business transformation leader with rolled up sleeves, and a data analytics, AI innovation, and cybersecurity veteran, a thought leader, a visionary digital transformation executive. Philippe brings overall 20 years of extensive cross functional experience and expertise in helping global organizations to be data, digital, and cyber ready with strategy, innovation, and transformation. I will let Philippe speak more about it. Over to you, Philippe.
Thank you, Vandana. Good evening, one and all. Vandana, I hope you can hear me well.
Absolutely, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, good evening, one and all who joined from different parts of the world. Thank you for taking time out and joining this session. So, I'm going to share my screen before I start my session. So, Vandana, if you can just confirm that you're able to see my screen, then we can start off. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Great. Yes. So thank you so much, Vandana, for having me here to share my knowledge and experience in the cyberspace. So today, I'm going to talk about the cyber crimes and the future crimes and how it is relevant for all of us. As the title says, cyber warfare and digital battlefield, we are all part of a war, which is called cyber war. The cyber security is not only just relevant for the corporates, but cyber security is relevant for our own household as well. We're going to see a lot of examples why it is important for each one of us in the coming minutes, right? Before I start the session, just put a disclaimer. Yeah, though Vandana introduced me, I work with corporates, and today I lead the cybersecurity and cyber defense practice for Larsen and Toubro Infotech. Prior to that, I work with a lot of global organizations, but in this session specifically, I'm going to show you a lot of examples and case studies and data points. All this information is publicly available information and is shared with you for your awareness. And there is no sensitive data or specific data I'm using from any of my current or past organization. Right? Yeah, this is me. I love sharing my knowledge. As on date, I spoke nearly 500 conferences, sharing my knowledge across various forums. Um, in this session today, I will be talking about specifically about 5 key things. One, the traditional crimes are completely changing. The cybersecurity attacks and breaches are changing. The future crimes are evolving. So we will see how this threat landscape is changing from a global perspective, and how that is going to be connected to in a world that we are living in a digital universe, right? So we started living in smart homes and traveling in smart cars, why it is important for us. The third thing what I would like to cover here is actually from the traditional crimes, how the future crimes are evolving and what kind of future crimes. And we will see a lot of examples where the traditional crimes are going to be a cyber crime or a cyber led crime. From a personal perspective, I believe that unfortunately, if there is a world war, and that would be a cyber war, and why we need to be prepared ourselves for a digital battlefield and a cyber war, right? As I mentioned, we are already in a war foot today, fighting against hundreds of unknown attacks, right? So we are living in a world where in the past we knew there are so many threats, so many attacks, so many crimes were happening. Every government, every country has set capability systems, law enforcement, policing agencies to manage these kind of crimes, attacks in the past. Slowly, the nature of the crimes started changing, the threats started changing. People didn't know how to really defend it. Today, we are living in a world where we don't have any idea about what kind of threats, crimes, or attacks are going to happen and how to even defend it. Whether it is happening in our own houses, or in our corporates, or in our governments, or in our country, or in the whole world. There are so many unknown crimes, threats, and attacks are happening. We don't have any idea how to really defend it. So in this session, I'm going to show you a lot of examples about some of the threats which are really happening around the world, and to see that how this is going to be relevant for each of us, and see what kind of defense we need to put in place, right? We already started living in a world where there are hundreds of zero-day vulnerabilities, where the gaps, risk, and the vulnerabilities are even unknown. Today, people are launching attacks which doesn't require even a click or installing an application or clicking on a link. Zero-click attacks are happening. I'm sure most of you might have heard about Pegasus software, which is spying so much of devices, which is getting installed in so many devices without even the end user knows. So today we are living in a zero-day vulnerabilities and zero-click attacks. And this is where we should be having a zero trust model, a zero trust mindset. We cannot easily trust anything and everything just like that. It's extremely important that before we trust, we need to verify. Throughout this example, I'm going to show you examples about the critical threats, risk, vulnerabilities, and attacks which are happening out there, and how do we need to be preparing ourselves. You're seeing the COVID pandemic situation, the biological pandemic. Now, in future, you will see cyber pandemic coming, and even biological pandemics can be initiated by cyber capabilities. We are going to see that. You will see traditional weapons which were used in the traditional crimes, which are like bullets and bombs, will be replaced by bits and bytes, which is software weapons, AI powered weapons. We'll see that in the coming minutes. Keyboards will be used, computer keyboards will be used to launch attacks, right? We will see a lot of such things. And these kind of attacks will be targeting the big nuclear power stations to even a small connected pacemakers which are sitting in our own heart, right? And imagine a situation when you're waking up in a fine morning, when you open your laptop or in your smartphone, if you see an image like this, what would be your reaction? And you are not able to access any of your files, you're not able to make calls, receive calls, you're not able to go to your settings, nothing can be done. What will be your reaction? This is exactly what happened into Sony Corporation a few years back. The entire Sony Corporation network was hacked by some cyber criminal groups. So much of terabytes of data were stolen from Sony Corporations. The entire network was shut down, systems were shut down, and they put certain demands to Sony Corporation. If the Sony Corporation is not agreed to meet the demands of the cyber criminals, the cyber criminal group told them that so much of sensitive data, unreleased movies will be leaked to the public internet. And even the theaters, movie theaters will be bombed wherever the Sony movies are going to be placed and played. Sony Corporation had to involve right from US government to FBI to CIA, but still they couldn't recover from this kind of attack. They had to agree to the cyber attack and the cyber criminals and their demands, right? This is what the screenshot of the warning or the lock screen of the Sony Corporation, which came into all the machines of Sony Corporation. If this can happen to a large company like Sony Corporation, it can happen to each one of us. Somebody can hijack us, hack us, breach us, lock us in no time. Every year, billions of data is getting leaked, breached, and hacked. And this data, including our own data, is available in the black market, in the dark web for sale. We don't give our own passwords to anyone, including our spouses or parents or our own kids. We don't share our passwords. But our own passwords are sale in the dark web. We will see that. Maryland University did a research on cyber attacks. They found out that every minute there are 3,000 targeted attacks are happening. Actually, there are thousands of attacks happening every second. But based on the Maryland University research, they found out that there are 3,000 targeted attacks happening every minute. And in that target attacks, everyone is a target. And you will see that these kind of attacks will be successful against many of the global organizations like Marriott, which is a five-star hotel chain, global hotel chain, Uber, the ride-sharing app, Microsoft, a big technology company, eBay is a huge e-commerce company. If you look at all these companies, millions of consumers sensitive data has been breached and leaked. And many other industries as well. Target is a retail company, they got breached. Equifax is a credit analysis company, they got breached. LinkedIn is a social media company, they got breached. And even Adult Friend Finder is a pornographic company, even they got breached, and they leaked more than 400 million users data from a pornographic website. Interesting. There is no discrimination between an industry and a corporate or even an organization when it is coming to cyber attacks. Right from Iran nuclear power plant to a chemical manufacturing company in the US to a logistics company called TNT Logistics to Saudi Aramco was attacked and breached by cyber criminals. And today we are living in a world. Okay, I was not attacked by somebody. I am not breached. Let me see if I am attacked. At that point of time, I will see. It's not about that. It's all about I am also a target for some cyber criminal out there. It's all about when I am going to be attacked. Right? That's the stage we are all living in. Based on the IBM research, it says that it will take more than 200 days at an average to even find out that whether somebody attacked us, whether we are already breached. After 200 days. We knew that when the COVID virus coming into our body, it will take at least 8 days to develop the whole symptom and other things. Similarly, when somebody attack you, it can take potentially up to an average of 200 days to even understand and identify that you are breached. And it can take more than 300 days to fix that attack or breach or recover from that kind of an attack. That is what the danger. Huge amount of money will be lost. Millions of dollars will be lost in the whole attack and the breach process. And it costs a lot of money, huge legal liability for the companies. Productions can be completely shut down for manufacturing companies to oil and gas companies to mining companies. Large brands can lose their lose their share value can be highly impacted and dropped. Companies' share reputation can be damaged. People's lives can be lost because of a cyber attack. I'm going to show you a lot of examples how life is coming to be an important at the front line when it is coming to cyber attack. I'm going to show you a lot of examples why we need to be worried about our own lives when it is coming to cyber attack. Obviously, it costs a lot of financial loss. I would like to play a small video just to show you that from a national security perspective, why cybersecurity is extremely important. It is a video, just a small video released by World Economic Forum. This is an interesting video, just a minute. Like you will see some amazing, interesting facts about this. So what you've seen in this video stating that many of your critical infrastructure can be attacked, and there are already examples in Ukraine and in the US where electricity grids were targeted and attacked. There were hours where there is no electricity throughout the country. Imagine a situation in a winter season, there is no electricity in a European country or in the US or in a state. What could have happened? Imagine a situation where there is no electricity for days. The hospitals cannot function. People in the ICU can die. Flights cannot be landed. and entire traffic systems can be completely collapsed. Whole telecommunication networks will be down. We cannot be communicating with each other. That is what the damage when an electricity grid is getting attacked. There are already people attacking electricity grids across the world. In Ukraine, in US, these attacks were successful. And it is told that in newspapers, it is told that the Mumbai blackout could be a potential cyber attack, which caused last year potential cyber attack. So governments are a big time target for cyber criminals. Sweden leaked. Sweden government got attacked and breached by the cyber criminals. They took away so much of sensitive data about the police department data, the driving and transportation data, the government sensitive data, all data from the Sweden government one time back, and become a so serious issue that even the government can fall down. So that is the seriousness when it is coming to cyber attacks, right? There is a hacker in the US tried to put poison into the water supply of Florida City. There's a news came in BBC News. Imagine people are changing their attack patterns to even a different level. The nature of the attacks are changing. They're no more interested to just to hack your phone and laptops. Hackers are now trying to poison the water supply. Loss of life because of a cyber breach. If the guy is able to, if the hacker is able to poison the water supply, you can imagine the entire city will be poisoned through this water pipes. There are cyber criminals who are trying to use anything what is available to them, which is connected and controllable. Imagine a situation where there's an F-16 fighter jet which is carrying a nuclear weapon. If that is getting hijacked, a cyber criminal can start a nuclear war with the help of a keyboard sitting some part of the world. Today we are living in a world where there are slaughter boats, suicide drones, autonomous tactical multi-rotor rotor attack UAVs are in place. I'm going to show you some examples. These things are getting real, very, very real, right? You know that the drones, right? The drones can be used for supplying medicines, transporting foods and goods, can be used for videography, surveillance, and all. This is good side of the drones. But the same drones can be used for a lot of bad things, committing a lot of crimes. Today, there are so many examples where people started using drones to commit crimes, even to put a bomb into a school or hit Pentagon and Capitol with a drone aircraft. There are already newses. People are already trying to really attack right from school to your parliament with a bomb by flying drones. Imagine a situation your own drone may be hijacked or hacked and breached, and a cyber criminal can use your drone to launch that kind of an attack. I'd like to play a simple video just to show you that how that can happen.
This right here is how I walk my dog. I get my favorite beer, I get my quadcopter, and I just sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. Hey, looking good, Biscuit. All right, let's get some exercise. Pick up the pace. Yeah, Biscuit. What the hell? Crap. What the? Oh. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh, my Lord. Biscuit. Biscuit. Biscuit.
Your own drones can be used to do a lot of cyber crimes. Your own drones can be used to hijack, kidnap your favorite things. Your own drones can be used for spreading viruses, dropping nuclear weapons, illegal surveillance. The same drone, because all these drones nowadays come with a lot of intelligence systems built in. World Economic Forum again did a research. and they published a report in 2019 saying that cyber attacks are going to be one of the top 5 risks to the global stability. Now you can understand why it is so important. US government every year they used to do a lot of public threat assessment, which is going to be impacting the nation and the country. Till 2007, that means about 13-15 years back, there was no mention of a cyber threat in the whole report. In 10 years back, cyber threat became the 17th item in the list after drug traffic in West Africa. You can see that, But today, based on the research and the source information from Defense News Leadership Poll, the number one threat to the United States is cyber warfare. Terrorism comes about 26%. China is just 15%, under 15%. Iran is just under 8%. North Korea is not even 1% threat to the United Nations. But if you look at cyber warfare, is the 45%, the biggest threat to the United States. So the nature of these attacks are going to be completely changing. The motivations are changing. So the damages are changing. Earlier, you've seen a lot of example about Marriott to Uber to eBay. If you look at all those attacks and breaches, a lot of data got stolen. People were just trying to steal the data, take out the data. Slowly, the data breach, the nature of the attacks changed so that the motivation changed. The damage got into disruption rather than data loss. Sometimes data loss plus disruption. Today, we are seeing a lot of examples where cyber attacks are launched to do a lot of destructions, complete devastation. So you will see the future crimes would be either a cyber crime or a cyber-led crime, right from stealing to murder to national security issue. It will be either a cyber crime or a cyber-led crime. And we all started living in a smart, intelligent world. I'm sure all of you are familiar with artificial intelligence, AI systems. The small homes are even smart homes. It all getting smart. It's all getting connected. It's all getting living systems. It's a double-edged sword because we started outsourcing all our memory abilities and capabilities to these smart devices. We don't even need a key to open our door. We can just say to Alexa, open the door. The door will be opened. We don't use a calculator today, or we don't use multiplication and by writing. We'll say, Alexa, tell me what is 4 times 2. We are outsourcing our memories and abilities to these all smart devices. We don't want to drive, so we are telling smart car, take me to Bangalore or Mumbai or New York. It is taking me. I don't need to drive, it can take me, right? So every of these smart devices is bringing a lot of promise, a lot of convenience, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. There are a lot of risks also associated with it, a lot of perils associated with this. When we choose convenience using these smart devices, we are actually trading off our privacy at a big price, our security at a big price. If you're not understanding this, I'm going to show you a few examples. We are living in a world where everything is getting connected, right from our shoes to watches to our lights, TVs to fridge to home to cars, trains. Everything is getting smart. There are 50 billion connected devices are going to be there by 2025 based on the IDC report, research report. 50 billion devices. The hacker has to just get into one device to get into the other one. It's just one device. I told you about smart cars, driverless cars. You just come inside, say, take me to, New York or London or Mumbai. It can take you because it knows the route. This car is driven by artificial intelligence. So many connected systems, cameras, sensors, infotainment systems, Bluetooth systems. It knows the route. It knows when to stop. Imagine a hacker is able to hack your car. When you're driving 150 miles speed on a highway, a hacker can all of a sudden put a sudden brake or lock you inside your car and then increase the temperature. Or instead of taking a left, the hacker can turn the car to the right and put you into a deep pit. Or when this railway cross signal is coming, the red signal is coming, a hacker can still drive and go ahead. You'll be inside the car. There are so many such examples. Tesla is a world number one car manufacturing company, manufactures the smartest of the smart cars in the world. Tesla Model X car was hacked by ethical hackers or researchers, I would call it as, in 90 seconds. In 90 seconds. So there is a video. Let me just play the video. You can see how a smart car can be hacked in 90 seconds. So the COSIC researchers hacked hundreds of thousands of priced car in 90 seconds. So every smart device, right from car to smart TV, is hackable. Today, China is developing a smart road which can talk to these smart cars. Tomorrow, your smart roads can be hacked and breached by cyber criminals, where they'll be able to completely control your traffic in your city. Imagine a situation where the traffic is controlled by hackers, where they'll be hacking into the smart roads, and they'll be able to control these cars and whichever the vehicles, smart vehicles. And it's not only just on the cars and the roads and the factories. These kind of smart devices are even coming to our own home, and those devices are also a target for cyber criminals. We already started living in a smart home. All of us are having at least a smart TV, a smart mobile, a smart health band, a wearable. Today, you know that every household can have a smart bulb at the cost of 250 rupees. When you clap, the lights can turn on. Or when there is a darkness in the room, automatically the light can turn on. Just 200, 300 rupees, you can buy a smart light. Every household, you will see a lot of such smart systems coming in. Your TV can be automatically playing based on your interest, whether it is news or sports or music. Your AC will automatically set this temperature based on your preferences. You don't need to do anything. Your coffee machine make coffee for you based on your own preferences, automatically based on your mood or based on your tiredness. If you don't believe, this is all happening. I'd like to play a very small video just to show you how future smart homes can be looking like.
Playing jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, tandläkare at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
Så ska vi sätta en till.
Ah, ja. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open. Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Sink on the floor.
Get over the door. Open the door.
Wrong voice command. Error.
Here, with a rock. Open door. Open door. Open door. Higher.
Higher volume.
Higher.
Higher.
You've seen an example of a smart home. Imagine a situation if a hacker is able to really hack your home, and the hacker can lock you inside your smart home and turn on the fire, increase the volume of the music, or shut down your TVs and warmers, or lock you inside in a chamber, or stop water supply, or play music and pornography videos in your own smart TV. Anything can happen, right? These things already started happening in the world and in our own countries as well. So we already started living in a world where there is a complete retained surveillance is happening, right from our smartphone to our laptop to our smart TVs to CCTV cameras. Today, right from video to data to video, and everything is getting under the surveillance. Somebody is watching, somebody is collecting all this data, somebody is trying to really get inside the system. Today, our smart TV, our smart fridge, even our smart CCTV camera can be turned against us, where somebody is still trying to launch an attack against all these things and then breach us. LG launched a vacuum cleaner, which is a smart vacuum cleaner called HomeBot. Right now, Checkpoint is a security company. They have done a research and they found out that there are vulnerabilities inside this vacuum cleaner, small vacuum cleaner, which can be hacked, breached, or exploited by the cyber criminals. Imagine in your bedroom, if there is a vacuum cleaner which can be hijacked by a hacker, where this vacuum cleaner has a camera, a mic, voice recorder, and everything in place. What can happen? Imagine in your kitchen, the vacuum cleaner can automatically come because you don't need to instruct the vacuum. It is automatic. It is intelligent. It can be breached. In Kerala, there was a complaint raised by one lady to the police department saying that her naked pictures are all around in the social media. They thought that some neighbors took some pictures of her when she was changing the dress and then put it into the social media. When the police did the investigation, they found out that the culprit is a smart TV which was kept in her bedroom. There was a hacker who hacked some mobiles and got access to the smart TV, and through the smart TV, even when the TV was turned off, the hacker was able to take photographs and videos of this lady when she was changing the dress. Hacker is inside our home, looking and seeing everything, hearing everything, if it is not protected, if it is not safe. In US, Ring CCTV camera was breached by a cyber criminal. This is the original screenshot of a hacked CCTV camera. A mother kept a CCTV camera in her own house to monitor her kids when she goes outside. One day when she came inside, the kids were so much of crying. When she asked, They told that there is somebody talking through the CCTV camera and asking us to do very, very bad things. A hacker was able to hack the CCTV camera and got inside her house. Twitter was completely down for many hours because of a cyber attack. Nobody knew what is the real problem. When the whole analysis happened, they realized that there are more than 3 lakh CCTV cameras were breached, and using the CCTV camera thing, they initiated a DDoS attack against all the social media companies, and Twitter got impacted for hours. Your own CCTV camera can be used against you as well as against other companies. That is where the danger. About is a big healthcare pacemaker manufacturing company. It's a big healthcare company. They make pacemakers. All of you are familiar with pacemakers, right? Earlier, if the pacemaker is not functioning, again, the body has to be like the heart has to be operated, and then again, multiple operations have to be done if the pacemaker has to be fixed. So about what they did is actually they made the pacemaker more smart and intelligent so that you don't need to operate if there is an issue in the pacemaker every time. It can be remotely fixed. The Food and Drug Administration of the US government identified that there is a risk, there is a threat, there is a vulnerability in that pacemaker. If that can be exploited, if that can be hacked by a cyber criminal will be able to kill a person sitting somewhere with a single keystroke of a keyboard. Now, the dangerous situation is that there were 465,000 pacemakers were in a lot which had this vulnerability. That means this is going inside the hearts of 465,000 people. The vulnerability is not fixed. A cyber criminal will be able to kill 465,000 people with the click of a button. They don't need to put a nuclear bomb. Your bombs and bullets are replaced by bits and bytes. People will use keyboards to launch attacks. That is where it is getting really personal. It is not only just about all these high-end devices. Even a sex toy can be hacked. It is already hacked. There is a news came in India that a sex toy was hacked and breached, and people were asking ransom before they unlock it. Nothing is safe if it is connected, if it is intelligent, if it is smart, if you don't make it safer. There is a famous case called Bhima Koregaon violence case. There is an activist called Rona Wilson is jailed because the investigation agencies, they found out some evidences against Rona Wilson in the whole violence case. But when the digital forensics team analyzed the whole computer, they found out that, as per the news, they found out that Rona Wilson's computer was compromised or hacked or breached by some cyber criminal, and they placed evidences against Rona Wilson, and Rona Wilson didn't know about this. When the police came investigated, yes, his laptop has all the evidences against Rona Wilson, but actually he never knew. That's what the news says. Against us, evidences can be placed within our own devices and within our own homes without even our own knowledge, and we can be behind the bars if somebody wants it. Today, cyber criminals launch a lot of attacks with different motivations. Earlier, people wanted to make a lot of money, so they steal your data and sell it in the dark web. They make money. Some people will not just leak your data, they will not do anything. They will just come inside and just observe. They will spy you. Cyber espionage. What are you doing? What are your plans? They will observe you. They'll spy you. Some people are really hacktivist. They have a point to prove. If somebody is against the war, and they will go and attack all the countries who are all originating these wars. Hacktivists. Some countries will sponsor certain attacks against other countries, which is called nation-state sponsored cyber attacks. Some companies will launch attacks to kill their competition. The motivations are totally changing. And today, there are highly proficient threat actors or cyber criminals, organized criminal syndicates, threat groups, who does cyber espionage to hacktivism, to targeted attacks. And even there are insiders. People within their own companies can be launching cyber attacks or leaking their own data, which is called insider threats. They will use a lot of techniques, tactics, and procedures which are evolving every day to launch these kind of attacks. These are some of the types of attacks typically these cyber criminals will be launching. Social engineering, very, very simple thing. People will create a duplicate profile of yourself in the social media and then try to get your friends and leak your own or get more information about yourself. Sometimes people will do spear phishing. They will send emails, SMSs, or voice calls to request you to click on a link or download an attachment or transfer some money. Phishing, wishing, smishing. Many, many techniques, tactics, and procedures are used by these cyber criminals. Many, many. These are some technical terminologies, but different types of attack methodologies. We all receive hundreds of emails every day. There are more than 300 billion emails sent up and down every day based on the IBM's research and Forbes research. At an average, more than 300 emails, which are phishing emails per employee in an organization they receive every year. That means at least one phishing email you will receive every day. To kill your entire organization, all it takes one click on a wrong email and your company can be shut down because of a cyber attack. You may be falling into the victim of a cyber attack. You are seeing a lot of news in the papers and the TVs that I lost 15 lakh rupees because somebody sent me a message that, okay, click on this link, you will receive 2,000 rupees. I clicked on my link, and then all the 14 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh rupees from my account is vanished, right? And you know that we are living in a software-defined world. Everything there is an app. Everything there is a software, right? Every software has a vulnerability. If it is not fixed, if it is not remediated, it can be exploited. In a smartphone, typically there are more than 120 million lines of code is there, which may have more than 5,000 vulnerabilities. That means risk. All it takes one vulnerability exploited by a cyber criminal, you are breached. That is the state. And people come to you in a physical world to really launch an attack in a different candidature, in a different identity. People come and say that I am a candidate. I have an interview today. I lost my resume. Can you take me a printout for me? To the receptionist. They would have done their social engineering to fix an appointment for an interview with this company. The innocent receptionist can take this pen drive and then give a printout to this candidate without realizing that, okay, this guy, a hacker, a potential hacker. This guy will be completing the interview and going away, but after 6 months, they will realize that, okay, there is a breach happened. But actually, this guy was a hacker. When he has given this pen drive to the receptionist, he has placed a malware in this company. Your own internal employees can leak your sensitive data. Edward Snowden, all of you know about Snowden. Snowden leaked the data from the most secure organization like National Security Agency, Central Intelligence Agency, and DIA. And in today's world, you will see that people in the virtual world come and do a lot of frauds, even people who are not real. Virtual people, virtual humans, the humanoids. There are two pictures on this screen today. Now, can you identify? One of the pictures is not the real picture of a human being. It is artificially created by an AI engine, artificial intelligence solution. Is it male or female? Which one is real? Which one is not real? It's extremely difficult to even identify which one is real, which one is not real. Correct? In fact, to your surprise, both the images are created by an AI engine. It is not the real photograph of the real people. It's artificially created. You will see that this technology can be used for so much of damage, so much of crimes. These technologies can be used. There are so many good use cases as well. If a person is getting acid attacks, they can recreate their face, redesign their face, whether it is an accident or an attack or things like that. They can redesign their face. Gender transition, you can use this technology to design your shape. But at the same time, criminals can use this technology to create virtual identities to launch attack against you. It is extremely important that whether we need to trust our friends online, whether the friend or the online friend is a real friend or a fake friend, an AI created fake friend. I would like to play a very small video, another interesting video, just to show you that how this technology can be used in a big way.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or how about this? Simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. It's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between whether we survive or whether we become some kind of fucked up dystopia.
So what you're seeing here is not the real video of Obama. This video is created called a technology called deepfake. Even the previous examples, what you're seeing is created by AI, artificial intelligence, and that is called deepfake. It's extremely difficult to even go and identify whether it is real or not. You might have heard about morphing, photo morphing. But today, deep technology, artificial intelligence can be used to create these kind of deep things, deep fakes. There are so many examples, so much of examples available on the YouTube. It's a new TTP, it's a new technology, new technique, new tactic. It's a new there is a new procedure to really launch attacks. These kind of technologies can be used to take the pictures, our profile pictures, even from social media platforms or even instant messaging systems like even Telegram. There are telegrams, there are deepfake robots running on even telegrams, which will take the photograph from the social media or even the chatbots or even this instant messaging platforms, which will convert these photographs into nude photographs. Actually, there's a news which came that one robot took 1 lakh photos from Telegram and created 1 lakh nude photographs. And there's already a case registered in Noida where a person's nude photographs was created by a cyber criminal using a deepfake and asking money, blackmailing him. And the man already lost more than 1 lakh. Then he filed a complaint to the police department. It's already happening, right? Sometimes if a cyber criminal has to attack us, they don't have to directly attack us. They may attack through our partners, our vendors, our suppliers, our subcontractors, our facility management vendors, right? They can attack, they can launch attacks. There is an attack happened in Ukraine long time back, arguably launched by Russian hackers. They launched an attack in Ukraine through a software company called Emidoc. Emidoc is a tax preparation software company. Russian hackers hacked this tax preparation software company, which is in Ukraine, and all the companies in Ukraine which was using this Emidoc software got breached. Now, whichever the companies got breached, when they send a lot of documents up and down with their partners across the globe, this virus or the malware or this ransomware spread across the globe, traveled around the world. Many big companies got hit, including Los Angeles Police Department. Los Angeles Port, Logistics Port Department, port was shut down for days. When this virus was traveling around the world, right from chocolate manufacturing company to logistics company to glass manufacturing company to pharmaceutical company, everything got breached in the whole process. And this virus traveled around the world and gone back in Russia, and even Russia got impacted. The oil company called Rosneft was impacted. $10 billion was the damage. More than 70,000 crore rupees was damaged but lost in the whole attack. It is extremely important that we are careful about even our own partners, our own friends, our own colleagues, to ensure that they are not getting breached. The devices that we use may have a spy inside that, a small tiny chip infiltrated by our enemies? We never know, because we cannot see the machines inside a device. Today, cyber criminals are going to use AI for launching cyber attacks, and they are targeting AI systems as well. People use a lot of open source data from the public to create these AI systems, which can be manipulated by the cyber criminals. And your AI systems will behave very weirdly, and they take wrong decisions if you are using poison trained data. When you are using poison trained data, your artificial intelligence system will have a poison data model, which will give you a wrong outcome. Today, cyber criminals will use artificial intelligence in a very big way to ensure that their attacks are more intelligent. How to attack, when to attack, whom to attack, what to attack. They will use this artificial intelligence capability in various of their weapons, right from swarm bot, self-learning swarm bots, suicide drones, cryptojacking, deepfakes, autonomous weapons. They will use AI to discover the vulnerabilities and gaps in our own systems, whether it is in a kettle, in our kitchen, or in a smart TV in a bedroom. Doesn't matter. And this is where we need to have a lot of awareness and intelligence to ensure that we are proactively defending against these kind of threats. So in large corporates and governments, they use intelligence in a very big way to defend against these kind of targeted attacks. So we need to ensure that we prepare ourselves from a reactive response to a proactive defense before we are getting attacked. Just like the way when we are falling into ill, we say that prevention is better than cure. Same way, we need to look at the whole cybersecurity issue, that prevention is better than cure. So we need to move from a reactive response mindset to a proactive defense mindset. Many such intelligence is gathered from a place called dark web. I'm sure most of you are aware about dark web. Dark web is the underworld of the internet, which is built originally for a good purpose, but eventually used by a lot of bad people. A lot of bad things happens in the dark web. These are some of the screenshots of some of the dark web websites. Illegal drugs are being sold in the dark web. Weapons are smuggled and sold in the dark web. You can hire a hitman, a killer from the dark web. A lot of conspiracy theories are evolving, getting developed in the dark web, right from geoengineering to nation state attacks. Some quotations are happening in the dark web. New York Post reported about 4 years back, a man is giving a quotation to a dark web guy to kill a small girl and eat that girl. Can you believe that? Cyber crimes. The crimes are going to be changing its nature through these kind of channels. Human trafficking is happening through the dark web. The dark web based human trafficking team, one notorious team, was arrested by US government. People who are smuggling from these people were smuggling people from African countries to the US and putting them into prostitution. A lot of bad things happens here. The cyber criminals will do a lot of planning, preparation, development of weapons in the dark web to launch attacks, crimes, and even cyber attacks. Our own stolen data will be available in the dark web for somebody to buy, including your usernames and passwords and even credit card numbers. And there is a menu even available. People will offer you crimeware as a service, where you can go and hire a hacker for so many dollars. You don't need to be a hacker. You can even hire a hacker from the dark web. There are very well organized criminal groups and criminals out there. These are some of the names of the so-called notorious cyber criminal groups. We call them as threat actors or threat groups. There are so many out there. There are so many. Very, very interestingly, these criminal groups, they work with each other, they help each other, they share knowledge, they share weapons, they share their gains as well. It's extremely important that we know how do they work. Some people will have so much of courage, they will even come to the YouTube and put an advertisement that we can help you to launch a DDoS attack. You contact us. Okay. DDoS attack for hire and purchase. Some people will put a testing platform in the dark web where you can go and test your virus. or malware for a cyber criminal. There is an e-commerce website in the dark web where you can buy these kind of weapons as well, the malwares. There is an e-commerce website in the dark web only for malwares. So in the future, whatever the things we are getting into our daily lives, whether it is laptop to smart TVs to smart mobiles to even our own smart home, you see we use a lot of biometrics for opening our doors or opening our mobile phones, turning on our TV, whatever it is. We use a lot of biometrics. We say Alexa, we use our voice to turn on the TV, or we use simply our facial recognition to turn on our mobile phone. Fingerprints to facial recognition to retina scan and voice recognition will be used to open, unlock systems. Unfortunately, all these things are hackable and is already getting breached. There are already movies which came long time back. Your fingerprints can be fooled. Actually, 3D printing can be used to fingerprint your own fingerprint, and somebody can use your own fingerprint to unlock your smartphone. 3D printing can be used to create your own facial shape to fool a CCTV camera or a camera which has facial recognition systems. There are already incidents happened. Your own voice can be cloned, which can be used to ask your parents or your family to say that you are in an emergency situation, transfer so much of money. You will be, oh, okay, my son is calling. He's in an emergency situation. Let me transfer some money. It's already happened in a corporate. So all these things can be hacked, breached, and leaked. That's why I was telling, right? For the government, for the corporates, for even our own households, we are in a war. We are in a war against the cyber criminals and the criminal groups out there. I personally believe if there is a third world war, it would be a cyber warfare. It will be a cyber war. I would like to play a very small last video just to show you that how these kind of devices, the smart devices which we use, can be turned against and can be used to initiate the war. This is a small drone example. Enjoy the video.
Former pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. Dumb weapons drop where you point them. Smart weapons consume data. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
Yeah, this is an amazing video. If you've seen this, he was saying that this drone can kill the bad half of the city. Imagine this smart drone is able to be hacked by a cyber criminal. The cyber criminal can use his swarm boats to kill the good half of the city, right from police, law enforcement agencies to politicians to government executives, on even targeted business people. All it requires just data, right? That is where it becomes very, very dangerous. So how do we really prepare for ourselves to have that proactive defense in place? As I mentioned, for corporates and governments, intelligence is extremely key. They have to leverage this intelligence from various sources to ensure that they have actionable insights and they act upon that. They have to do a lot. I mean, these are security terminologies, but they need to really look at how do you really operationalize your intelligence to have the proactive defense in place. You need to know who is targeting you, what are their motivations, why they are attacking you, and what could be the damage. And before they successfully launch their attack, what are the things you should be doing? Updating your system, changing your passwords, scanning your systems for viruses, a lot of things. So today, corporates and governments, they should be having that. They have a very, very structured, formal security capability in place. There are number of security measures a company has to be having in place to ensure, right from your connected devices to your corporate network to your cloud infrastructure to your applications to your end devices and even your factories. Anything which is connected has to have a security in place. You need to have intelligence. You need to apply analytics. You need to ensure that proactively you defend against this. You need to have a monitoring mechanism. And this is where organizations have to look at data from both internal as well as external world to enable that proactive defense by having intelligence contextualized to understand what are your risks and how do you proactively make that remediation. You need to apply a lot of automation and artificial intelligence to have self-healing applications and assets. You need to do a lot of risk management exercise to ensure that your risk is mitigated proactively. There are a lot of frameworks available. NIST is a very, very standard global framework, which you can definitely look at to ensure that you have a very, very strong cybersecurity posture. Today, governments across the globe are launching a lot of compliance regulatory frameworks to ensure that various industry organizations are staying protected by following these guidelines and regulations and compliance requirements. It's extremely important that we follow some of these relevant frameworks, standards, governance, and compliance systems in place. We all have to play a crucial role in this whole thing. We need to be a good Samaritan. We all have to be a good Samaritan in this whole cyber defense army against the global cyber attacks happening across anyone and everyone. We should be having some fundamental things when we are part of this good Samaritan and being the cyber defense army. We should be having this curiosity to ask the right questions. Is this the right link? Is this a malicious attachment? Is this a virus? Is this guy a genuine guy or not? Having the right questions asked, have that curiosity in place. We need to have always that fine balance between convenience and security when we are living in this digital smart universe. It's not about if I'm attacked, let me see at that point of time. It is not at all about if, it's all about when I am going to be attacked, because every minute there are 3,000 target attacks are happening across the globe. You and me are part of the targets for some cyber criminal sitting some part of the world. Because the bad guys, they will continuously do the attacks. They have to just get it one time right. but we have to get it all the time right. We are living in a world in the age of brush passes, dead drops, and micro dots. We need to be ready for the ball from the blue. To be prepared, I have simple 5 recommendations, whether it's to a corporate, to a police department, to a government, or even a household. We should not be forgetting about the basics and fundamentals. We should not be clicking all the email attachment which is coming in our way. We should not be trusting all the social media news out there. We should not be consuming all the messages we receive in our WhatsApp. We have to be extremely careful. We should be having basics and fundamentals taken care. We should be using our passwords, which are strong enough, which is very difficult for the people to hack. We should be using multi-factor authentication, at least an OTP, second factor authentication in place. We cannot write our usernames and passwords in a sticky note and put it in the computer table. Basics and fundamentals. We should not be downloading and installing all the apps in the world, which is even very difficult to even validate whether it's a genuine app or not. We should be continuously updating our own systems, whether server or application or even our own devices. That's the basics and fundamentals. The second most important thing I would recommend is that security is not just the job of the security department or IT department. It is the responsibility of everyone. It's a shared responsibility. It is an ecosystem responsibility. If I need to be breached, the criminals don't have to be attacking me. They can attack my friend or my siblings or even my company. I can be still breached. It's everyone's responsibility. We need to have a zero trust mindset. We should not be trusting everything just like that. We need to verify and validate. We need to have a secure first culture. Even before it is smart, we need to ensure that this is secure. Then we should look at the smartness inside that. And I strongly believe that security should not be considered as a technical course out there. It has to be embedded right from the play school so that we build a secure mindset generation. We should be having a zero trust security model, concept, and framework. We should not trust anything just like that. We need to verify before we trust. So secure first, smart second. Otherwise, we will react and repent. So we need to move from react and repent state to detect and respond. From a detect and respond to predict and prevent. From a predict and prevent to proactive and protect stage. Then only we'll be able to defend against these cyber criminals. So we all have a responsibility to make it safer and better. We are all warriors in this whole cyber warfare, in the digital battlefield. So let us make it safer and better. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope I'm not scared, many of you, but at least these are examples where we should be at least understanding when we are living in a digital universe. Stay safe. Thank you so much. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you so much, Philippe. It was amazing session. Even let me tell you, my son was also listening to it. It was so eye-catching. The examples that you gave from drone to anything that was around, it was incredible. Like I was totally mesmerized. And it took over an hour, and I did not realize personally that it was more than an hour. So it was totally incredible. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am sure everyone loved it. And I have shared the link. Anyone can join there at any given point of time and they will be able to stream it.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm not sure if there is any questions from our people who are watching this show. If there's any questions, happy to answer.
Absolutely. I don't see any questions at the moment, but if there are any, I will share the links in the chat and people can actually reach out to you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Philip.
once again, Vandana. Really appreciate and good to connect again and stay safe.
Likewise. You take care. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.